Alright guys, we've had this Central Machinery belt sander for a long time, and I recently bought a WEN belt sander off of Amazon to replace it. I don't know anything about the WEN. This has been a good belt sander, so this isn't going to really be a who's better necessarily. It's just that we've hopefully upgraded. And so I'll just kind of go over the things that I don't like about this, and we'll unbox the other one and see if there's anything right off the bat that I do like about the WEN. So that's what this video is going to be about. Let's get to it. We've had this in the shop for a long time, probably 5 years, something like that. And we use it all the time. It has been a very good tool. By far my biggest complaint is that changing the belt requires some disassembly to get the belt off. I don't know that the newer ones, Bauer or I'm not sure what else Harbor Freight has, you know, if they require disassembly to slip the belt off, I'm not sure. But it's been a good belt sander, and we use it so much it's starting to, either the electric motor has started to seize or it's dirty. Something in here has started to, I'll show you. So sometimes when it starts I have to actually push on it to get it going. I suspect that it just needs a good cleaning, but this belt is also a little underpowered, or fairly significantly underpowered. You really can't lean on it. And if you can't tell, I'm still suffering whatever's going on with my larynx. So I bought a new WEN, and it had a lot of good reviews on Amazon. I don't know anything about it, so I'm going to unbox it, and we're going to kind of compare and contrast the two. This really isn't necessarily how much better the WEN is, more like what are the differences. And like I said, I don't know anything about the WEN, so we're going to see what I think about it when we unpackage it, see if it appears to be a better piece of equipment. But I'm looking forward to replacing this because this is kind of worn out. Probably clean it, move it over somewhere where it can be a secondary piece of equipment, but this primarily is where we do a lot of our belt sanding. And so hopefully the WEN is a much better piece of equipment. The main thing I'm hoping for is that I can detension the belt, the sanding belt, and it will just slip off. So we'll see about that. So in this video at this point, I have not done the research to know what was going on in the industry, and later I watched a video by the Den of Tools, and he did a whole huge review on these belt sanders. And so essentially the complaint I have coming up is a moot point because they're all manufactured in the same facility, same building, same city, same province in China. And so there really are essentially three different designs. There's the cheap Harbor Freight one, which actually does put the belt on an idler shaft. There's Everything Now, which has, I'm sorry, not the belt, the disc is on an idler shaft. There's the Design Now, where the belt is up above on its own setup and the disc is right on the end of the motor. And then there's the really expensive $2,000+ jet ones that have like a 10 to 12 inch disc. And obviously you can use the very edge of the disc because it sticks out past the piece of equipment. And that really is one of my biggest complaints about this body style is that the disc is sort of inaccessible. It's down in the middle. So I would have preferred that they shoved the motor way out to the edge and got the disc way out past the end of the component or right at the end of the component, but that's just not the way it is right now, the way this design is. And this belt sander, there's like, if you watch the other guy's video, there's like, I don't know, 10 different belt sanders. So the WEN or the Harbor Freight are both good deals. Wish that I would have, there's no I wish. There's just no other option. They don't make a belt sander with a disc that's accessible unless you want to jump up into the multiple $1,000 range. So on with the show. Right off the bat, there's some things I don't like about this thing. The belt sander is in a terrible location. I understand that it's probably attached directly to the motor. Really bad spot. So the other thing I'll tell you is that you need to check your, these are 10 millimeter, you need to check them. Mine were loose. Also, I want it really close to the sander. So you're going to want to make them snug enough to make adjustments, but tight enough that it won't slop all around. And you're probably going to have to stick your face under there and do all kinds of manipulative crap. So, WEN, I would say that this was almost a deal breaker. This is almost a deal breaker. I can tell I don't like the location. Having to go back and do this again, I can't say that I would order this model. It's that big of a deal to me. So, yeah, but yeah, like I said, you're really going to want to adjust your table. And make absolutely sure that it's tight and square. So far, the only pluses are that the belt can be removed easily. We're going to see about that in a minute. The minuses would be initially both the belt sander location and the table adjustment. It literally would have been better if so the motor is on this side of the transfer shaft. It literally would have been better if these two were reversed so that this was out here somewhere. I know they've got packaging constraints. It just sucks. This is a big deal breaker for me. I do a lot of sharpening drill bits on this, and I don't even know how you get a drill bit in there because I sharpen the drill bit at an upward angle, and that one's, I'll show you in a second, that one's really accessible and this one's really not. So I'm just kind of shocked that WEN thought this was a good idea. I don't know. So I'm going to take some paper and fold it up to get the spacing. Gosh, so what happens is as you tighten it, because it's a casting, the surfaces aren't machined, and so it automatically walks. So damn frustrating. So part two of this would be that because this is cast, this doesn't pivot around the edge here. So as you tilt this down, there's more of a gap. And it'll actually, if I tilt it up, it comes up tight against the blade. This knob is too small, and the hardware is too small to tighten this keep this from moving. Harbor Freight. Oh, we'll go over and look at that. Let me finish tightening this up. I know it sounds like I'm complaining about a $100 tool. I'm not. I think that there's almost no planning to cast a slot in here that this could go in, or a hook, or, I'm not quite sure what it would be. You could even, who knows what you could come up with. I'm sure if I sat down and thought about it, I could find some way of doing this. I'll probably 3D print something. Maybe magnets. Who knows? I don't know what would be cost effective, but this should store on the damn machine. It shouldn't be this, friggin' tool makers. Like I said, I sharpen drill bits and other things on here. Sometimes I'll sharpen razor blades in the shop. And we're going to pan over and look at the old machine, and I'll tell you what I like better about it automatically. If I'm sharpening a drill bit, I'm sharpening it at about this angle right here. So the drill bit is off at an angle, and then it's down, right? It's rotated down at an angle. And so if we look at the WEN here, this table's in the road. So every time I go to sharpen a drill bit, I'm going to have to, I can only go about like this. So I don't know if that's enough to be able to get in here. I'd be tempted to cut this whole part of the table off here. Had the table been moved over on this side, I suppose I could try to sharpen it over here maybe. It would have been so much better if this table would have been offset all the way where the table edge would have been the edge of the belt sander. So I may end up redesigning something for this so that it relocates it. They didn't make this reversible, so when I flip this up, I can't flip this around so that the plate is sitting like this. Hopefully I'm in frame. And so you flip this up and it's like this, but I can't take these two screw loose and flip it around. And actually, they should have made quick knobs so I could flip this around, and it was universal. So I'm not sure I can recommend this. I'm sure it'll be more powerful. I'm going to plug it in and find out here. Okay, you can see how hard it was to stall. Now we're going to stall this one if I can find a extension cord. Okay, we're going to stall this one out. And we're going to stall this one out. Oh, that was awesome. You can see it almost jumped off the table. So this one's more powerful. Oh, there's another thing. So I don't know why, but WEN decided not to put rubber feet on here, so it's slick as F. So I'm going to end up having to put rubber somewhere along here. The casting's also crap, so it doesn't contact the way you'd want it to. So they're so lazy, they didn't want to have to cast it and machine it. So it's only got 3 points of contact, which is why it's got movement over on this end. So there's 1 foot here and 2 feet back here. Yeah, so 1 foot's here, 1 foot's here, and then 1 foot's up front. So I don't know whose genius idea that was, but that would be another complaint. See how easy the belt comes out. So there's a foot that this rests on. So they say you have to tip it up in the manual. My question is going to be, can I deflect it out of the road and just get the belt off? So with a little bitching and moaning, you can get this thing off without having to lift it up, which is still 1,000 times better than the Harbor Freight. But you can see all the bullshit I'm having to do to get this off. I don't know why they can't figure out how to... I don't know if they got Chinese engineers who don't use the thing. You know, they just sell them to Americans. Or if they've got idiot engineers working for them. I really can't figure it out. It just flat ass should not be this hard to change a damn belt. So my initial observation would be that this foot that it comes down on in the front to support this end of it, that foot could have been on the back side and then this would have come right off. That would have pretty much solved the problem. So I actually think I'm going to take that foot off, flip it around back here and re-drill it and tap it just so I can change the flipping belt. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know what kind of retards they have working for them, but we're talking about $0 cost-wise. It's literally just CAD design. And so, as someone who does this daily, it's just crappy design. Overall, I will not be getting rid of the old central machinery. There's this part where it's up on this shaft. The jack shaft is better. It's a better design that this is up. I wish that they had one on maybe each side. So if they had a disc on the back, it would be a roughing disc, and on the front it'd be a finishing disc. Or maybe you could have another disc down here. Not sure. I really don't know what would make it better. But that is, other than there are some good and some real bad about it. So I think I would look around before I buy one of those. I think that the review number on Amazon was misleading. Or maybe people just use it to sand stuff and they don't ever sharpen tools or drill bits or anything. So definitely can't sharpen drill bits on this the way it's set up. Anyways, I hope this helps somebody, and glad we got a new thing in here. If I hate it, I'll probably give it away to a family member. But anyways, hope this helps one of you guys make a purchasing decision, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. See you later.